Most people who move to Vietnam have the same picture in their head. Cheap food, warm weather, beautiful beaches, a simple, easy life. And then they land, and reality hits fast. The traffic doesn't move like anything they've seen. The paperwork is different from what they expected. The landlord is asking for documents they didn't bring. And the visa they thought was fine, it's about to expire, and they have no idea what to do next. Here's the truth. Vietnam is one of the best countries in the world to live in, but only if you know what you're walking into. This video is going to show you exactly what other videos leave out. The real stuff. The stuff that either makes your life here incredible, or turns it into a very expensive headache. Let's start with the biggest misconception. Most foreigners arrive expecting a developing country. Crumbling streets, no Wi-Fi, cash only, and everyone getting by on rice and luck. That is not Vietnam in 2026. Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi are modern, fast-moving cities. You've got high-speed internet, international hospitals, world-class coffee shops, shopping malls, food delivery apps, and co-working spaces that rival anything in London or New York. The infrastructure is developing fast, and in terms of day-to-day convenience, Vietnam competes with countries that have been developed for decades. But here's the part most travel videos skip. Vietnam is a one-party communist state. That means certain freedoms are restricted. Internet content is monitored and filtered. Political speech is off limits. If you're coming from the US or Western Europe, you will notice this. Not immediately, but over time. This doesn't make Vietnam a bad place to live, far from it. But it does mean you need to check certain assumptions at the door. Vietnam runs on its own terms, its own rules, and its own timeline. The foreigners who thrive here are the ones who understand that from day one. This is probably the most important part of this video. So pay attention. A tourist visa is not permission to live in Vietnam. It is not permission to work in Vietnam. And in 2025, the Vietnamese government has made it very clear that they are done looking the other way. For years, foreigners would do what's called a visa run, leave the country, cross a border, come back, and reset the clock. Some people did this for years. That era is not completely gone, but the rules around it have tightened significantly, and the penalties for getting it wrong have gotten much more serious. In December 2025, Vietnam enforced a new decree, Decree 282, that doubled the fines for overstaying a visa. Here's what that looks like in real numbers. Overstay by less than 16 days, you're looking at fines between 500,000 and 2 million Vietnamese dong. That's roughly $20 to $85. Overstay by 16 to 29 days, fines jump to between 5 and 10 million dong. And at this level, immigration authorities now have the power to deport you. Overstay beyond 90 days. Fines reach up to 20 million dong, and you risk being blacklisted from Vietnam for up to 3 years. But here's the part that catches people off guard. If you've overstayed by more than a few days and you simply go to the airport to leave, immigration may not let you board. They can stop you at the gate, document your violation, and require you to visit an immigration office in the city before they'll allow you to exit. You could miss your flight and lose your ticket money on top of everything else. So what's the right path if you want to actually live here? It starts with a work permit, then a temporary residence card, called a TRC, which lets you legally stay for 1 to 3 years. If you're here for 5 or more years with clean records and a stable income, permanent residency becomes an option. The lesson is simple. Sort your visa properly and do it early. Don't wait until the last week. Vietnam has a reputation for being cheap, and in many ways it is. But there are a few money traps that catch almost every new foreigner. Let's start with the basics. A comfortable expat lifestyle in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City will run you somewhere between $700 and $1,400 a month, depending on how you live. A one-bedroom apartment in the center of the city is around $500 a month. Go a little further out, and you can find something solid for under $300. Street food meals cost under $2. A cafe with air conditioning, fast Wi-Fi, and a great atmosphere? About $1.50 for a drink. Now here's the money trap. The Vietnamese dong has a lot of zeros. A 500,000 dong note looks impressive. It's $20. Many newcomers, especially in the first few weeks, overpay for things because the numbers feel unreal. Slow down, do the math. The second trap foreigner pricing. At markets, street stalls, and sometimes even in stores, foreigners are often quoted a higher price than locals. This isn't personal, it's just business. Learn a rough idea of what things should cost before you buy. And the tax situation, this one surprises people. If you spend more than 183 days in Vietnam in a calendar year, you are considered a tax resident. That means you're taxed on your worldwide income at a progressive rate that can reach 35%. If you're working remotely, talk to an accountant before you get too comfortable. Let's talk about traffic, because honestly, it's going to be one of the first things that shocks you, and also one of the first things you'll get used to. Vietnam runs on motorbikes, millions of them. At rush hour in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, it looks like pure chaos. But here's what experienced expats all figure out eventually. There is a system. It just doesn't follow Western logic. The most important rule is this: don't stop. Keep moving slowly and predictably, and the traffic will flow around you. The same applies to crossing the street. Don't wait for a completely empty road. That moment may never come. Walk slowly, at a steady pace, make eye contact with drivers, and let the traffic part around you. It feels terrifying the first time. By the third time, it feels completely normal. For getting around, use Grab. It's the dominant ride-hailing app in Southeast Asia, the equivalent of Uber. It's cheap, it's safe, and it removes the stress of negotiating with taxi drivers who may or may not have a meter running. Now this is where things get interesting, and, honestly, where most living in Vietnam videos let you down. They talk about the food and the sunsets. They don't prepare you for the cultural differences that show up every single day. First, Vietnamese people will comment directly on your appearance, your weight, your skin color, your age. If you've gained a few pounds since the last time someone saw you, they will tell you. Not to be cruel, this is completely normal in Vietnamese culture, and it comes from a place of familiarity and care. But if you're not expecting it, it can sting. Second, yes doesn't always mean yes. Vietnamese culture places enormous value on saving face. People will often agree with what you're saying, or smile and nod, even when they don't understand or don't actually agree. Watch for the uncertain smile. That's your real answer. Third, the concept of time works differently here. Meetings and social gatherings rarely start exactly on schedule. This is not disrespect. It's a different cultural relationship with punctuality. Adjust your expectations, and you'll stress a lot less. Fourth, questions about your salary, your age, and whether you're married are completely normal conversation openers. These are not considered invasive here. They're just small talk. And fifth, this one surprises almost everyone. The entire country slows down after lunch. Offices go quiet. Shopkeepers take naps. Business gets done in the morning and resumes in the late afternoon. Fight it and you'll be frustrated. Work with it and life gets a lot easier. Healthcare in Vietnam is, well, kind of a split reality. Public hospitals are affordable and technically accessible to foreigners, but they're crowded, the language barrier is significant, and honestly, the experience can be a bit overwhelming. Now, international and private hospitals in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, they're genuinely excellent. Modern facilities, English-speaking staff, high-quality care, but they cost real money. Without insurance, even a routine visit can become expensive fast. So get international health insurance before you move. Seriously, this is not optional. It's one of the most important things you can do for your peace of mind. Now, let's talk about the language. Vietnamese is a tonal language with 6 tones, which means that the same word, if you say it with a different tone, it means something completely different. A mispronunciation doesn't just cause confusion. It can accidentally say something hilarious or even offensive. The language is genuinely challenging. But here's the good news. English is widely spoken in major cities, especially among younger Vietnamese and pretty much anyone working in tourism or business. You can absolutely get through daily life without speaking Vietnamese. But learning even 20 basic phrases will change your experience here dramatically. Locals respond to the effort with warmth and generosity that's honestly hard to describe. It opens doors that would otherwise stay closed. Vietnam is a long country, and the cities, they feel very different from each other. Choosing the right one matters more than most people realize. Hanoi, up in the north, is the capital. It's older, cooler in temperature, more traditional, and has a slower pace. It's really the political and cultural hub. A lot of foreigners who want a deeper connection to Vietnamese history and culture choose Hanoi. And yeah, the winters can be surprisingly chilly. Nothing like Europe, but enough that you'll want a jacket. Ho Chi Minh City, which is still called Saigon by most people who live there, is hotter, faster, more international, and way more business-oriented. It's where most of the economic activity happens. If you're here to build a career or run a business, Saigon is usually the better base. Then there's Da Nang, right in the middle of the country on the coast. It's grown rapidly as a destination for digital nomads and remote workers. It's smaller, more relaxed, and honestly much easier to navigate than either of the two major cities. One strong recommendation: visit the city you're considering before you commit to a long-term lease. Hanoi and Saigon are almost like different countries in spirit. The one that's right for you depends entirely on who you are and what you're looking for. No honest guide to living in Vietnam skips this part. The bureaucracy is slow, paper-heavy, and sometimes, a little unpredictable. Bring multiple copies of every document: your passport, your visa, your university degrees, and really anything else you might need. Have them translated into Vietnamese if you're dealing with official processes. Things that should take a day, sometimes take a week. Air pollution in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City is real. On bad days, especially in winter, the air quality drops significantly. An air purifier at home is not a luxury. It's something long-term residents actually consider a necessity. Scams exist, and they target foreigners. The most common ones? Inflated prices from motorbike taxis without meters, street vendors who invite you to take a photo and then demand payment, and unofficial tourist taxis near airports. Use Grab for transportation. Agree on a price before you commit to anything else. Here's the thing about Vietnam that honestly, no one can fully explain until you've lived it. The food is genuinely world-class, and it costs almost nothing. The community of expats here, over 100,000 people from more than 100 countries, is active, welcoming, and incredibly helpful to newcomers. The energy of the cities is, well, unlike anywhere else. And the Vietnamese people themselves, when you approach them with respect and genuine curiosity, are some of the warmest and most generous you'll ever meet. Vietnam rewards the prepared. If you sort your visa correctly, understand how the culture works, keep your cash on hand, and approach life here with patience and an open mind, this country will give you more than you came looking for. Most foreigners who plan to try it for 3 months end up staying for years. Some never leave at all. If this video helped you, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from. And if you're already planning your move, drop your biggest question in the comments below.